What's up, folks? It's Tom for Anubis, and it's Thursday. So 2 weeks from this very moment, I'm gonna be in Boston for Anime Boston. It's a convention that happens every spring or so. Huge anime convention, biggest anime convention in New England. Sees thousands and thousands of people each year, and it keeps growing. I'm really excited for it. Been excited for months since last year's Anime Boston. My friends and I got our hotel room situated. I'm taking the train up. It's gonna be great. I'm staying Thursday till Monday. It's gonna be awesome the entire time. So I want to do the Anime Boston hype video. Just tell everyone what I'm excited about. So first thing I'm excited about was this was announced a while back. Jam Project is gonna be at Anime Boston. Now, for those who don't know what Jam Project is, they're a Japanese rock band, J-rock band. They do a lot of music for the Super Robot Wars series. They've done themes on Cardfight Vanguard. They do stuff for the Japanese Transformers anime. They're really big, really prominent among the mecha scene. Second thing I'm excited for, Anime Boston always has a ton of really great panels. They haven't announced their panel schedule yet. They usually take a while to do that. Uh, I put in for a panel. I don't know if it's accepted yet. They haven't gotten back to me on that. But you can always expect a ton of great panels at AB. And that's another thing I'm excited to get back to. Number 3, dealer room. I'm a huge fan of going to conventions and buying stuff. They have always got stuff that you can't find anywhere else. There's all kinds of models, figures, art books, everything. They got that. And that's another thing I'm excited about. Fourth thing, cosplay. Always, people pull out all the stops for Anime Boston. And you might wonder why, usually in a shirt and tie, why I'm wearing this flight suit. This is one of my costumes. I'm doing a Sirius Corporation pilot from Armored Core Verdict Day. Because I haven't seen a lot of. First of all, I haven't seen a lot of mech pilot cosplay. Second of all, I've never seen any Armored Core cosplay at Anime Boston. So what I'm doing is I'm doing like kind of my interpretation of what a pilot from that franchise from Armored Core Verdict Day would look like. And if even one person is pumped by my costume, then it was worth it. Like, see, I got the flight suit, I got the vest, I got my respirator because Armored Core takes place in it's kind of post-apocalypse or polluted planet, that kind of stuff. It's gonna be great. I've got a couple other costumes planned. I've got the Zero from Code Geass, so if you see Zero walking around in a suit, that's me. I'm gonna be wearing this at some point. Alright, so I've got a few costumes planned. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna see a whole bunch of amazing costumes, take pictures and whatnot. What am I on 5? The fifth thing I'm excited for is being able to go and hang out with all my friends and all the people I meet at conventions. It's people who go around to the various conventions around this area of the United States, and tend to see some of the same people, but they're really cool people, and I'm really glad to be able to go again and like hang out with them again. Now, since last year, a couple of things have occurred with Anime Boston. So last year they didn't have a informal dance, what most people just call the rave, and that was as a result of something that occurred at 2012's Anime Boston. People were injured. Paramedics and police officers had to be called. People were caught with illegal substances, and as a result, Anime Boston hasn't had one of those events since that last event. And personally, I'm not too hurt by all that. I barely even go to the raves anyway, so it's not something I'm concerned about. Some people might see it as a negative, but to be perfectly honest, if you're going to the convention just for the rave, and there's other things you could be doing. The second thing that's happened over the course of time was last year they implemented a security check to get into the convention center. Now, what this is you go in and you take off your bag, and they just search through your bag, make sure you don't have anything, bad in there, and then you go on your way. Uh, Last year, I was really concerned about all that. I thought last year, I last year I was concerned that it would create a huge choke point, and at certain points in time it did, namely Saturday afternoon, a lot of people trying to get in and out of the convention. But really, it didn't really hurt too much. Like you go in, put your bag on the table, they check through it, and you're gone. There's almost never a line for it. So my concern was that it would create a choke point. It did not. So I'm not. So they're gonna do this again this year, and I'm not too concerned about it now. And like, if you have a costume, like if I'm to wear this, they're just gonna run it over with a metal detector. If anything, if it goes off, I can explain what it is and whatnot. But it's really fast. There's no real hold up with it. So they did a fantastic job last year, and I have no reason to believe that they won't do the same kind of job this year with it. My third concern is, so this is an airsoft gun, except it's not really an airsoft gun. I took all the internals out, so I can pull back the charging handle as much as I want. Nothing's going to happen. Pull the trigger as much as I want. Nothing's going to happen. The tube is out. All that's left is the spring that makes sure the charging handle goes back into battery when it's pulled, and the spring that makes sure that this trigger goes back into battery. But it doesn't shoot anything. It never will again, and that's the reason that like, if I'm doing a costume at Kineticon that requires tactical gear and an assault rifle, this is the kind of thing I use, a disabled, cheap spring airsoft gun. But changes to last year's Anime Boston prop policy made this kind of thing illegal at the convention, even with the fact that there's nothing inside it. So I have to carry something like this. It's just a toy. You can see that there's nothing down the barrel here, and it's designed as a noisemaker, but I took the batteries out, so it doesn't even do that anymore. And like, it's not too bad, but it really limits people's options. So you can go at, like, normally under more regular con rules where disabled airsoft guns are allowed, you can just, this is like $30. You can order it online, and you can have yourself a nice realistic looking Elite 5A2. But now with some stuff like Anime Boston's implementing, and I've heard other conventions implementing this kind of rule as well, and I'm really not digging it. It really limits your possibilities, because you can get one of these. This is like $17, or 17 bucks, or you can get a blue gun, which is what, say, law enforcement and the military use for training props, and those cost on the order of like between $20 and $60. So I mean, it really limits your options for affordable prop guns, and especially since it's something you're only going to use at the convention, it's not, to me, it's not really that much of a good investment. So I'm disappointed that my options are limited, but at the end of the day, it's not really that big a deal to me. Anyway, I'm really excited for Anime Boston. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna have a great time. I always do, year after year. Gonna catch some panels, gonna buy stuff, gonna hang out with people, gonna have a fantastic time at Anime Boston. If you're going to Anime Boston, post a comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice week.